Hello and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about loss of energy and motivation during perimenopause and even into the post-menopause years. It's not uncommon for women to go through periods of lacking in energy and motivation where you don't feel like you've got the energy to do anything, and to be honest with you, no motivation, you can't be bothered. It really is not an unusual thing, and sometimes it can carry on for quite prolonged periods. Part of the problem is obviously hormone fluctuation. It leaves you feeling drained. I mean, if you've gone through months or years where your hormones have fluctuated and gone up and down, and you're up one minute and down the next, you can end up with phases of no energy and no motivation at all. And also the other symptoms that you experience, particularly during perimenopause, but they can go into your post-menopause years, they will add to your lack of energy and motivation. For example, if you're not sleeping properly, because sleep disturbance is really quite a common thing for women at this time in their lives. Fatigue, your body is just fatigued anyway because of what it's doing with your hormones. It just leaves you feeling drained. Brain fog, that doesn't help either. If you don't think you're thinking clearly, that can end up leaving you with no motivation at all to do anything, because you start doubting yourself and putting yourself down. And also weight gain. If you're not happy with your self-image, that can put you off of going out and doing anything, so that can knock your motivation. And also low mood and anxiety, which are two other really quite common symptoms during perimenopause and postmenopause for women. So if you're suffering with anxiety, you've got a general low mood, then you really have lost your umph. Now, obviously, it's not something that you've chosen, it's something that's happening to you, but nonetheless, it can make your life difficult, and it stops you from enjoying your life as well, which I always think is really sad. Life's definitely for living. There are a few things that you can do, quite simple things, that can help to increase your energy levels and also help to give your motivation a little bit of a kick. Because if you feel you've got more energy, you're more likely to be motivated to doing the things that you either have to do or the things that you want to do. So I've popped some notes for myself up there on the whiteboard. Hope you can see them. So excuse me turning around again. So some tips to increase energy and motivation. The first one, which is generally the top one in anything really to do with feeling better in yourself, is diet. If you eat a healthy and varied diet, then you're giving your body the nutrients that it needs to do what it needs to do. And also a healthy diet does actually make you feel better in yourself. When we're feeling low, we can all be guilty of comfort eating, and comfort type foods are not generally part of a healthy diet. They're usually the naughty things that you perhaps would normally try and avoid, but if you've got no energy, no motivation, you're feeling down, then, you know, cakes and chocolates are always a lot more appetising than a healthy meal that's packed with vegetables and beans. So I know it can be difficult if you're tempted to cheer yourself up by comfort eating. It won't make you feel better in the long run, unfortunately. The second thing, which again is a very basic thing, is exercise. So regular exercise, that boosts your mood, it makes you feel better, and it does actually increase your energy levels. And the more regularly you actually do exercise, the more you actually feel like you want to do it. But if you haven't got any motivation, that can be really quite difficult to actually get it going, to start it off. But if you push yourself, if you can just push yourself a little bit, just say, well, you know, I don't want to go to the gym or a fitness class or leap around the living room doing some sort of Keep Fit DVD. Even if you just go out for a walk, get out in the fresh air. So while your motivation might be lacking a little bit, if you just give yourself that little push, even though it can be really difficult, it does make you feel a lot better. And exercise doesn't just have a physical effect, it has a really good psychological effect too. So that can help with your motivation. And then next we've got adjust your expectations. Now, if you, oh no, excuse me, next we have got be kind to yourself. Yes, be kind to yourself, then adjust your expectations. So be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up about the fact that you are feeling lethargic and you really haven't got any umph to go and do anything. The more that you're hard on yourself, the worse you're going to make yourself feel. So you just have a little word with yourself, talk to yourself, think, okay, I'm not choosing to feel like this, so I'm not going to give myself a hard time over it. Women are so guilty about giving themselves a hard time and putting themselves down. So be kind to yourself, accept that this is the way you're feeling at the moment, but say to yourself, I'm working through it, I'm trying to get through this, and I'm trying some different things, and in no time at all I'm going to be back up to full speed. Then it leads me on to adjust your expectations. Now you do need to adjust your expectations of yourself. So if you're finding that you can't do as much as you did, you haven't got the motivation or the energy to do as much as you did, then adjust your expectations of what you think you should be doing. Adjust them in your favour. Just do what you really have to do and leave the less important things for another day when you're feeling a little bit more upbeat. If you've got problems with brain fog, which is something I suffer with, as you've probably noticed, then compensate for it, write things down, keep yourself a little notebook, use sticky notes, which is one of my favourite things, but adjust your expectations of yourself. You say, at the moment I can't do all this, let's have a look at what I can actually do. And when you've achieved that, that gives you a really good feel-good factor. We all need some of that in our lives. So next is grab some me time. Now I think this is a really important thing. It's another thing that women are quite often guilty of. They put everybody before themselves and they're running around like crazy, making sure everybody else is happy and taken care of. But they forget to look after themselves. So you do need to grab some time, preferably each day. That's just for you. Even if you can get just 20 minutes, 30 minutes, that's great. Doesn't matter what you're doing either. Doesn't matter if you're walking or if you're reading or soaking in the bath, or you just want to go out for a walk, or if you just want to go on your computer, if you just want to play a game on your computer, anything. But it needs to be your time, no interruptions. It's your time out, and it does really help to recharge your batteries. And then next is talk it through. So talking it through with people that you're close to, that care about you and have probably noticed that you're not quite yourself, is a good thing to do. Sharing with somebody else how you're feeling and how it's affecting you can really help, because they are likely to give you some help and support. Now whether that's emotional support or practical support, as in doing some of the chores for you, or even taking you out and cheering you up, having a laugh is always one of the best medicines. But if you've got people that you can do that with, that's excellent. Just talk it through, get it off your chest and work through it. Now my last point I've written in red, see your doctor. Now sometimes when you're feeling lethargic and you've got no motivation, or you're suffering with low mood, sometimes there can actually be something medical behind it. For example, lack of energy, you could be lacking in iron. And sometimes the loss of your motivation and the low mood can actually be depression, and these things are not uncommon for women at this time of their lives. So if you're unsure, or you're finding it just too much to cope with, and you know you've tried these things and things are really not improving for you, then please go and see your doctor and talk it through. Get some professional help and advice there. Thank you for watching. I hope you found the tips helpful. If you'd like to know when I'm putting any of the videos on the channel, there is a subscribe button below, and there's also a notification bell there too. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you again soon.